If you are a fan of the Yu-Gi-Oh! GX anime and you're looking for a deck to play for the normal and rare event that obviously isn't Heroes, then look no further than this deck. Yo, what's up boys and girls, it's your boy Swolelax here, and I'm back at it again with another video. This time something just a little bit different. Today, let's talk about Crystal Beast inside of the normal and rare event. Previously, we previewed our particular hero list that we might be taking for the normal and rare event inside of Yu-Gi-Oh! Mastery Duel. I've been testing and playing a lot more decks inside of the format, and I gotta say, it's a lot of fun, and this deck right here might actually be better. I know it's heartbreaking and I hate to say it too, but once you see the list and once you see some replays, you might think so as well. If you guys like this video, make sure to leave it a like, and if you want to see more from your boy, please consider subscribing. We're trying to hit 5,000 subscribers by the end of the year, and I really hope that we can do so. Y'all have been absolutely amazing. It's been a phenomenal run so far, and thank you to every single person who subscribed and shown the support, leaving comments on the videos, feedback, etc. I read all of them, and really, it's been amazing. Thank you. Thank you. All that being said, let's go ahead and jump right into the normal and rare event with Crystal Beast. I truly believe this deck list would make Jesse Anderson very proud. Let's go over the card by card. We have 2 copies of Card D. This format's a little slow, so this card is pretty good for keeping up card advantage. Then we have 1 copy of Crystal Beast Amethyst Cat, 1 copy of Crystal Beast Ruby Carbuncle. Then we have 1 copy of Crystal Beast Emerald Tortoise, 3 copies of Crystal Master. Crystal Master is a very powerful card inside of the Crystal Beast deck. You can search essentially any Crystal Beast monster, so Sapphire Pegasus, or if you really needed to, any of the other ones. And then also you can search the Crystal Spells and Trap cards, particularly in this deck, 3 copies of Crystal Promise. Then moving on, we have 1 copy of Crystal Beast Amor Mammoth, if you guys remember the dub voice. Then we have 1 copy of Crystal Beast Topaz Tiger, 1 copy of Cobalt Eagle, and 3 copies of the best Crystal Beast monster, Crystal Beast Sapphire Pegasus. Big body of 1,800 attack points, plus non-once per turn, you can place a Crystal Beast monster inside of your spell and trap zones. Really powerful, and especially too, because this card is a level 4 wind monster, it does make it very versatile for other plays. Finally, we have 3 copies of Crystal Keeper. Crystal Keeper is an insane pendulum monster that I actually didn't quite figure out until much later, but this card has some interesting attack modulation, but it's more importantly for its pendulum effect, that if Crystal Beast cards would be destroyed by card effect the first time, they would not be. So you can pair it with something like Torrential Tribute to really protect and maintain card advantage with your Crystal Beast monsters. That's gonna be it for the Crystal Beast wrap up. We do have our support cards and the Mech Knights. These things are incredibly powerful. And because of the fact that you can place the monsters inside of spell and trap zones, your opponent has a hard time playing around the Mech Knights for this format specifically. The Mech Knights also have great stats that help you wall up or put on more pressure, which is very phenomenal. 1 copy of Mech Knight of Orange Sun here. Orange Sunset is really big booty more than anything else. You don't really need it. You could probably cut it if you wanted to, but I like it because not a lot of things can really get over that attack point, defense points. Then we have 2 copies of Mech Knight Yellow Star. The spell and trap removal does come up, plus it's a big body. Then another big body, we have Mech Knight Red Moon. The monster removal is pretty sweet. Then 2 copies Indigo Eclipse, allowing you to somewhat use more Mech Knights inside of your hand than just the other ones. Indigo Eclipse isn't quite as powerful because it's not spot removal and it's not as great of stats, but it is another body and it's pretty big. On top of that too, you can pair it well with something like the World Legacy Secrets to negate monster effects, which is pretty cool. Next, we have 3 copies of Crystal Promise. Once again, you can search this card off of Crystal Master. 3 copies of Mystical Space Typhoon, which I think is a necessity inside of this format, as back row is everywhere. Then we have 2 copies of World Legacy Memory. This card is really great for maintaining card advantage, but also for especially now your bigger Mech Knight monsters. 3 copies of Torrential Tribute. Paired this with a Crystal Keeper, or really just for any matchup, Torrential Tribute is a great board wipe. Then we have 3 copies of Crystal Conclave. Crystal Conclave is kind of a weird niche pick for the Crystal Beast archetype, but I think it does pair well with the Mech Knight specifically because it is a continuous trap, but it is spot removal as you're able to bounce back to your hand Crystal Beast monsters and remove cards from your opponent's field. In addition to that, it helps you special summon out things like Sapphire Pegasus if, let's say, one of the other ones was destroyed by battle or card effect. And finally, for the main deck, 2 copies of World Legacy Secrets. World Legacy Secret allows you to Monster Reborn, or Call of the Haunted rather, a Mech Knight monster inside of your graveyard. In addition to that, it negates monster effects inside of the column of a Mech Knight, so pair that well with something something like Indigo Eclipse or Red Moon, you can really use this card to your advantage, especially for pushing for game. Once again, the column mechanics is really important for this deck. Now, don't worry too much about the extra deck. It doesn't really matter too much for this deck specifically, or really this format in general, but we'll go ahead and go over it just to be safe. We have one copy of number 50, Black Ship of Corn, one copy of number 44, Sky Pegasus, one copy of Gaga Samurai, one copy of Malevolent Sin. This one actually might be important. Very strong card, and also will be seen everywhere inside of this format. One copy of a rank 6 monster that I left over in here from when I played more copies of Orange Sunset, but again, you can cut it. One copy of number 74, Master of Blades, and one copy of Dark Armed, the Dragon of Destruction, or Annihilation, whatever. This card's really good for popping cards on the field, but it does have some interesting requirements. One copy of Firefighting Darumidol, one copy of Track Black, one copy of Cross Sheep, one copy of Geonator Transverser. This card can actually come up, but pretty interesting for this format. Then we have one copy of Triple Burst Dragon, one of the best Link 3s, one copy of Power Code Talker, once again, one of the best Link 3s. Then we have Berserker of Tenyi, once again, one of the best Link 3s. And finally, we have the Desperate Doom Eagle. I'm not going to try to pronounce that first name, for another Link 3. This one doesn't come up as often, but in theory it could. So this is going to be the card by card for the Crystal Beast deck. I think this deck is super fun, surprisingly consistent, and also allows you to really play with the control aspects, but also turn on the aggro switch when you really want to. This thing has interesting combinations, like I said, stuff like Crystal Keeper and Torrential Tribute that really do help you play the field as well as apply pressure. Let's go ahead and look at some replays that I did in my testing for this strategy, and you guys can see for yourself how interesting this deck plays. Our first replay is going to be against Blackluster Soldier Ritual, which is an interesting pick for this format, but I mean, you're probably going to see a million different random things on ladder, so hey, what do I know? Our hand is just interesting, but this will be a good showcase of the Crystal Keeper and the Torrential Tribute that we mentioned earlier, that kind of dynamic. We're going to set a bunch of cards. We're going to put Amber Mammoth inside the Spell and Trap Zone, and we're going to pass it back to our opponent. They're going to draw not great, but we'll see. They're going to start off with Manju, which is going to add the Blackluster Soldier Ritual spell, and we're going to add 2 copies of Lost Wind. We're going to MST one of the copies of Lost Wind to take it out of the back row, to worry about one less thing. We'll go ahead and go for Crystal Promise here, and the Crystal Promise is going to special summon out the Amber Mammoth. We're going to attack with the Amber Mammoth first, not knowing the other copy is Lost Wind, so hey, that kind of messes up us a little bit. We're going to go ahead and swing over with Sapphire Pegasus, and that's going to do a little bit of damage, and we're going to go ahead and end our phase. Now, we're still not too scared here. He drew a Compulse for turn and activate his Manju effect, which is going to get a Blackluster Soldier, a big body that we are a little bit afraid of. So he's going to activate and tribute 2 monsters to get out that Blackluster Soldier. The OG BLS Ritual monster, a big body, we're going to Torrential Tribute here. And thanks to a Crystal Keeper, we're going to be able to keep our Crystal monster, true to its name. He's going to go ahead and set a Compulse, and we're going to draw now Torrential Tribute. So we get to recycle that Torrential Tribute that we did have once before. And now he's in a kind of a tough situation because he doesn't want to give us more advantage with the Sapphire Pegasus on that Compulse. He's going to draw a Ritual spell and not going to be able to do anything with that. End phase, and pass it back to us. We're going to go ahead and swing in for a little bit of damage here with the Sapphire Pegasus after setting our Crystal Conclave. Interesting spot removal that we're going to be able to activate sometime soon. This is a little bit of a slow game. If you guys notice anything about the normal and rare event, it's going to be a slow back and forth. And sometimes you're going to be in a top decking war after people are just grinding out. We're going to return the Sapphire Pegasus to hand with the Crystal Conclave just so we can get a little more going. But now after drawing the Mech Knight, we actually are a little bit sad that we bounced back that Compulse because we could have used that and maybe pushed for game here. It doesn't really matter too much though. He's going to draw into an Incantation Candle, which is going to be hilarious because you get to see the Torrential Tribute interaction here that's going to happen here in just a second. So we're going to activate the Incantation, get another Blackluster Soldier. He's going to trigger the Blackluster Soldier Ritual spell inside of the graveyard, banishing cards. He's going to activate one of the Tribute material. We're going to Torrential Tribute, destroy the entire board, but oh wait, Crystal Keeper is going to stay and bring Sapphire Pegasus and keep him on the board. Add a Blackluster Soldier Ritual spell he has 3 of. Unfortunate. He's going to send a Compulse. We're going to get Ruby Carbuncle. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to go ahead and try to attack in with the Red Moon. He's going to Compulse it back to hand. That's A-okay. We'll swing on Sapphire Pegasus. We will go ahead and set the Ruby Carbuncle, and then we'll go ahead and pass back with 400 life points left. He has an enemy controller in his hand. Not much he can do here. Unfortunate for our Blackluster Soldier player. We will go ahead and summon out the Red Moon and go ahead and try to swing in for game. This should be lethal. The next replay that we're going to show is going to be against Warrior Turbo, Big Warrior Turbo. I'm not quite sure how to categorize this. It uses a card that I haven't seen in quite some time. But regardless, our opponent is going to start off and go first here. They're going to begin with a Photon Thrasher, which I thought was kind of strange, but they pass it back to us afterwards, and now I'm feeling much better. Anyways, we're going to see what we get off the top, and it's going to be a Red Moon. Amazing draw here. Set the Torrential Tribute, special out the Red Moon, and now we're going to go for some Crystal Beast shenanigans, getting Amber Mammoth to our Spell and Trap Zone. We're going to do a bit of damage with our monsters, and then we're going to pass it back to our opponent after setting World Legacy Memories. It's going to be important later. Next, he draws an MST. MST, we've got a 50-50 shot here. He's going to target the Torrential Tribute, which actually turns out to be in our benefit. He's going to Polymerize the Unity Star and the Sky Star for an E10, the Conqueror Star. This card is big, but allows him to search Joker's Knight. And Joker's Knight can special summon itself after it sends a Queen's Knight. So a lot of big bodies on board. I'm not too scared at the moment, until he does 3,000 damage, and now I'm actually kind of scared. But no worries, Crystal Beast, Sapphire Pegasus goes into the Spell and Trap Zone, and now we have all we need to out this board. If they're going to go to Cross Sheep, I guess they're planning on going to another fusion sometime soon. We're going to activate World Legacy Memories, get out our Red Moon, which is going to return back to our hand. He's going to get back Joker's Knight to his hand in the end phase, and now it is GG. So let's walk through this. We're going to draw for turn the Yellow Star. That's a big draw. Summon Red Moon. We're going to activate Red Moon's effect. We're going to out the Conquering Star. Crystal Promise is going to bring out Sapphire Pegasus. Sapphire Pegasus is going to set Ruby Carbuncle. Then we're going to go ahead and go for Yellow Star, go for Crystal Master for Crystal Promise on Ruby Carbuncle. Carbuncle is going to bring out Amber Mammoth, and Amber Mammoth's going to charge into Cross Sheep. Then we're going to go for the Red Moon, then we're going for Yellow Star, and finally we're going to go for Sapphire Pegasus. This deck is a lot of fun to play. It is actually fairly interesting. Now, I do think a lot of that has to do with the fact that the Mech Knights are particularly broken inside of this format, able to be a big body and spot removal. I think it's GG from there. This deck I actually might considerably play over Hero this format for the normal and rare event, but we shall see. What do you guys think of this? What do you guys think of this deck? Let me know in the comment section down below. I'd love to know your thoughts and opinions. What would you change? What would you add? Have you played Crystal Beast? Let me know. If you guys like the video, make sure to leave a like. If you want to see more from your boy, please consider subscribing. And yeah, that's all I have to say about this. I will see you guys later. Peace out.